Hello friends, I Dr. Ashwin Dobariya welcomes you to Programming in C video series. In previous video we have discussed the overall concept about the programming language, its generation and the different level, and the little bit concept about the compiler and interpreter. In this video we will discuss about the programming C language, the history of programming C, features of programming C and the various applications of programming C. So let's start the concept of programming C. So these are the topic that we'll discuss in this video. History of C and its entire development life cycle, and the second point we'll discuss the features of C programming language and the applications of C programming language. So first, if we talk about the history of C language and its development life cycle starting from 1960 to 1999. So actually the first version of C language was algorithmic language, because it was based on the algorithm, and it was developed in year 1960 and developed by internal committee. After that, after 3 years, the new version was launched of C language, and the name was CPL, Combined Programming Language, and it was developed in year 1963 by the Cambridge University. After that, after 4 years, again the updated version launched, that is BCPL, Basic Programming Language, and in year 1967 by Martin Ricci. So up to this, all are the various version of the C language were developed, and in year 1970 you can say very relevant version of C language, and it was B. So before coming to the C language, actually the name was B. So B language was developed in year 1970 by Ken Thompson, and finally the traditional C came into the market in year 1972, and it was developed by Dennis Ritchie in year 1972 at AT&T Lab, US. And this is the, you can say, the traditional C language, and that's why this Dennis Ritchie is known as a father of C language, right? And after that, many versions came into the market in year 1978, KNRC, then ANSI C, developed by the ANSI committee, then ANSI ISOC, that is developed by ISO committee, and C99. So all are the upgraded version of C. But if we talk about the traditional C, it was developed. Actually the C language came into the market in 1972 and developed by Dennis Ritchie. So this is all about the development life cycle of C language starting from 1960. So we can say that to develop a complete C language, it took around 12 years starting from 1960 to 1972. So this is the overall history of C language, and you also remember the name of the father of C language, Dennis Ritchie. Now the second point of this video is the features of C programming language. So before we move to the actual programming, actual coding part of that particular language, at least you should aware about the various features are available in that particular language. So if we specifically talk about the C language features, or you can say the characteristics or the main functionalities are available in C language. So first features is a portable language. If you remember, in previous video I explained the concept of lower level language like a binary and the assembly language, and binary and assembly language are the machine dependent language. So in that I explained the things that what is machine dependent. So machine dependent means what? If you have written a code for a particular architecture of machine, and if you copy in the same type of architecture in the sense of processor. Suppose you are using a i3 processor, and you have developed one programs in using binary and assembly language in your i3 processor, and So it can only execute in the similar type of architecture machine like in i3. So if we talk about the C language, it is not a machine dependent. It means if you have written the code for one architectures, then it can execute in the another architectures also. So it's you can say machine independent. So portability means we can easily carry the source code from one system to another systems, and we are able to execute that. So portability is there. This is the very important features of C language. Another features of C language is middle level language. I already explained the concept of middle level language in our previous video. Why C is known as a middle level? Because if we talk about the features of low level language and higher level language, so lower level language like machine and assembly, their execution speed is very high, but the development speed is low. If we talk about the higher level language, then development speed is fast, but the execution speed is low. So if we compare the features of C, it's come into the middle, means the C language is having a more execution speed as compared to higher level language, but slower than low level language. But in case of development, so development speed is fast as compared to low level, but slower than higher level. So it is little bit in a middle level. So this is middle level is another features of C language. Next feature is structured language. C is also known as a middle level. C is also known as a procedural language. C is also known as a structured language. Why C is known as a structured language? Because for writing a code, for writing a source code, the structure of the C language is predefined. We cannot change the structure. We will discuss the C program structure in upcoming video. So what do you mean by structure? So structure means like if you want to write a C code, then first you have to include the header files, whatever resources you require, that you have to include first. After that, in the second sections, you can declare the global variable. Then third sections, you have to write the main code. Main code means using the main functions, and then you can write the UDF function. So in that way, the structure is again fixed. Another thing is, inside the function also the structure is fixed. Whatever variable you want to use in your program, it must be declared first, then and then you can utilize. So in that way, the C is the structure language. Then next feature is the rich library. Library means the ready-made header files are available, and every library files are having many ready-made functions, and we will discuss the concept of functions in detail in upcoming video. So library files contain the ready-made function. So there are many ready-made library files are available. So in C language, we do not require to write much code. We can utilize an existing library and we can write the code. So that is the advantage. Like if we talk about math.h file, so all the built-in mathematic related functions are defined in that. So no need to write the code for a particular functionality, but you can directly utilize the ready-made function. Similarly, string.h, so all major string related functions are defined in that library file. So we do not require to write the code, right? So this is the advantage of this feature. Next is the C is also having a recursion concept. Recursion concept we'll discuss in detail, means the function call itself, right? So the recursion is also very much important features of C language. Then extensible. Extensible means with the help of existing features, we can develop a new, like suppose there are many header files are there. So you can create your own header file also, right, as per your requirements. It means you can extend the functionality of C language. Even C language is also used to develop the another programming language. That is also very good extension, right? Like nowadays, the most of the higher level programming languages are developed with the help of C language. Fast speed, execution speed is also fast of C language program. Then memory management. This is very important features of C language. C also provides the facility of dynamic memory management, where you can create the dynamic memory to manage your data, and you can free the memory. So once usage is over, we can free the memory. So C is having a built-in function like malloc and calloc. With the help of that, you can create a dynamic function and you can do the memory management. Then C is having very important concept, that is pointer. So using a pointer, we can directly perform certain operations on a memory. So that is also important features of C language. And if we talk about the complexity of the C language program, then it is very easy, very simple, and the end user can easily learn the code of the C language, and we can use the C program language to develop any type of application. And that's the reason of C language. It was developed in year 1972, and still in the present scenario also the C language is used in the market to develop the system level program as well as to develop the application level programs also. So this is the all about of the features of C language. And the last topic of this video is the applications of C programming language. This is very important topic, because at least you should aware about that which are the different area where the C language is generally used, or in other word you can say that using C language, what type of software we can develop. So the first application, C language is used to develop a various operating systems like a Windows, Linux and all, right? So operating system is generally developed with the help of C language. Then another is the embedded system. Now what do you mean by embedded system? Embedded system is nothing but, you can say it is a hardware programming. Nowadays we are using a smart device at our home also, like a smart TV, smart AC, smart washing machine. So every smart device is having a chip programming, right? Hardware programming. So majority of hardware programming is done with the help of C language. So nowadays all the you can say the device programming is done with the help of C language. Then GUI, graphical user interface. So in most of the softwares, in most of the programming languages, right, to create effective graphics related applications, the C language is also used. Then new programming platform, as I told you that the most of the higher level programming languages are developed with the help of C language. And C is also used to develop the search engine like a Google, right, to develop the algorithms of the search engines like a Google. Then C is also used to develop a browsers like Mozilla and Firefox, so it is developed with the help of C language. And very important thing is C language is also used to design a compiler. And as we already discussed, the compiler nowadays in most of the higher level programming language is having its own compiler or interpreter. The main task of compiler and interpreter to convert the higher level programming source code into machine code. So this kind of lower level system level software we can develop in a C language. And gaming and animation, right? So this is also the application area of C language. The overall summary, if we talk about the application of C language, then C language is used to develop the system software as well as the application software nowadays. Even majority driver of the various devices are also developed using C language. So this is the overall concept of this video, and in next video we'll discuss about the how we can write the C program. So based on that we'll discuss the concept of editors and turbo C and the overview of the C language program structure. So this is the things that we'll discuss in next video. So I hope friends you enjoy these videos, and please like these videos, share with your friends so they can also take the maximum benefit of this video. And for getting the upcoming videos, please subscribe this channel. So thank you very much. We'll meet and discuss the another concept of C in next video. Thank you very much.